basically the level between the upstairs and the kitchen. I think he found like 1 point some odd $1 million.
Yeah.
And he wound up like giving it up basically to I can't remember the story specifically, but he gave it to like the person that previously owned the house, and this was like probably like 80 years ago. It was some old guy. And like he found all this shit like he found like probably like $1 million or something like that, and like just like some valuable shit for him.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like, would you get like say the guy was like 80 or 90 years old? Would you give it back to him? Like knowing that you'd found all that money?
Yeah.
Was it his house or was it?
Well, no. Somebody owned it. Like somebody bought the house, and the new owners hired a contractor to go through the house.
Technically, it's new owners.
Yeah, but like I mean, like, would you give it to the new owners then?
Yeah.
If you're the contractor, would you give it to the new owners?
Yeah.
Talk hello.
I'm an awful I'm such an awful liar. I would hate myself forever by doing something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or worry that I'm gonna get.
No,
in trouble.
I mean, so like 80 years ago, they used to like wallpaper was made out of money. Believe it or not.
I'll just take this away.
Well,
from
no,
you.
this is a common thing, especially what was it? Especially with Jews during World War II. World War II.
Yeah.
Okay, I just I just want to double check.
Vietnam, right?
Vietnam, yeah. They would hide the money in the walls, and people would just find it. And if the new owners bought that house and then found it, it's there. So normally you wouldn't find like $1 million. What you would find is like several $1,000s that because of the value of that money and how long it's been, all of a sudden it's worth this crazy amount of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was a lawsuit at one point of old owners versus new owners because the new owners found it, and then the old owners were like, "Oh, that was in my house. That's mine." You know what I mean? So shit like that.
But I mean, I think I would rather give the money to like some old guy than some like bratty teenager.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's kind of like what my point is. Like, let's say hypothetically the guy passed away. Like, I'd be like, dude, sorry, finders keepers, man. Sorry.
yeah.
Like,
keepers.
yeah, because I don't know. It's like I know it boils down to like legal possession, like who's in legal possession of that money.
Right.
But I mean, like, fuck, dude. Or I mean, if anything, it was like $1.5 million. I'd be like, oh, I found $500,000.
Yeah.
Right.
You're at it.
Beats don't fail me now.
Well, you know,
Hot air balloon.
and if you were the now this obviously doesn't always work, but if you were the homeowner and someone found that for you and was actually cool to give it to you, wouldn't you give them like a little bit of finder's fee?
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I just be like, you're a badass. You you didn't have to give me this money. Here's some. I mean,
Here's a Lincoln.
fuck, dude, be like Elvis, give away Cadillacs and shit. But I mean, especially if it was like 1.5 million. I mean, fuck, dude. I mean, dude, what you can give away like
1.5 million? Here's a $5.
yeah.
You know, this is a little bit not. It's not the same as this, but it's we're gonna stay in similar ground, and it's current to our specific location. Did anybody hear about the updates with Lisa from Foxy Goat, her murder?
Yes.
You heard about the update?
Yes.
Okay, so it's
Wait,
it's a
who
good
is
thing they
Update.
the first Lisa from Foxy Goat, and we've met her, like, we're not friends, we weren't like, we was just like very hearsay, like we met her acquaintance. There you go. We met her a couple times, and we wanted her to work with us with Death Maidens at one point. And we found out 3 weeks ago that she was murdered in her home, and they knew it was a homicide, but they didn't know who it was. Well, they convicted someone, and he's in prison right now, and he's a total scumbag. And it was a brutal murder.
Repeat offender too.
Yeah, you see him?
Yeah.
He went in. They think that he went in with the intention just to rob the house, and then Lisa was there. And then he killed her, but he didn't just kill her. He killed her. He stabbed her with a sharp object, probably a knife, but he also stabbed her with like a screwdriver. It was a brutal murder. It was really awful, and I feel horrible for the family. But going through that stuff, going through murders, it's an awful experience. But the one thing that not to down this whole thing,
You son of a bitch. We're talking about whiskey and shit.
They offered one of the biggest reasons they found this guy is they offered a reward, and my thought process is who would accept a reward? To, you know what I mean? Like, if you're morally, like, the family's going through all this shit, they have to bury this woman. You know what I mean? They have to go through all this shit, and then someone's not.
What was the reward?
It was like $15,000 or something like that.
That is a lot of money.
But who would not just offer up and say this is the person or this is who I think it is, and then accept that money.
Yeah,
I
'cause
think-
it's not like a bounty or
But I
anything.
You
mean-
know what? I think that kind of almost compared to the movie Ransom. I mean, they think that reward is enough for if someone's in cahoots with that guy, that's going to be enough money to hand them over.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the kind of like that's their just kind of last ditch. Is like, hopefully,
Right.
if someone hasn't already come forward, like, fuck, I hope this money makes someone give up this guy. And
I know that that's the motivation, but I think it was just a neighbor. And he was a neighbor. He was a neighbor to her.
Yeah.
And which I don't understand the mindset to begin with to rob. Like, that's so if you're going to rob somebody, why are you going to rob somebody in your own fucking neighborhood?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that
know
part's
what I mean?
bizarre.
But maybe we wanted to go to jail.
Yeah. Demographics, I guess, don't play any part in it at all because what was it? We practice at our guitarist Johnny's, and he lives right across the street from a police station.
Uh-huh.
And when Shalitis was working on my truck, I'm just like, oh, fuck, I'll just leave my truck unlocked, It's right across from the police station. He's like, I wouldn't do that. He's like, that house right there was robbed.
Right.
Like,
Oh, yeah,
and
dude.
it's like right by a police station. It doesn't fucking matter.
I live across the street from a police station.
And so got stabbed.
Yeah, and someone got stabbed.
Yeah.
Like, it
Yeah,
don't
that's
fucking
actually
matter.
very true. It doesn't like it. Basically, just has to do with like age, upbringing, and etc. Mm-hmm. And dude, like I was gonna like point out too, what's kind of really fucked up, like because I didn't know Lisa at all, as a matter of fact, and I was working at Home Depot probably 2 days before she got murdered. She came in. I was actually up at the service desk, and she came up and she wanted some keys cut because she, just moved into her new place and stuff like that. And I was just kind of bullshitting with her a little bit because she had like a shit ton of tattoos.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh yeah, where'd you get your ink done? We just kind of started bullshitting about tattoos, and then it was like, cool, see you later, take it easy. And then like my buddy Chris texted me. He's like, dude, you heard about that murder in Elgin, right? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, dude, that was the chick that you were helping out like 2 days ago. I'm just like kind of blew my mind.
So fucked.
It's just bizarre, dude.
It's a crazy thing. Like, I've had two experiences in my life. One is I remember when I was like 12, 13, my uncle's fiance at the time, her younger brother, who was still about 5 years older than me, I used to hang out with him all the time. And then I found out like 5 years later, my other cousin's husband's like, remember this guy that we went whitewater rafting with? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, dude, drug deal gone bad. He just fucking killed this guy. And I'm like, are you talking about this person? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I know that person. Like, and which is weird because I knew both of them.
Yeah.
But and then my uncle, obviously, when he was murdered. I mean,
Yeah.
like when you find, it's such a weird thing to, I think in death in general, but to know and be somewhere in their presence, and then all of a sudden they're gone.
Yeah.
And like I remember, like biggest assholes ever to detectives from. I'm 12 years old. The detectives from St. Charles. I couldn't even possibly fathom this. Detectives come up to the house, and they start saying, we've reported that this person is missing, which is my uncle. And I'm like, oh no, I never thought anything, no 2 cents of it. And they're like, yeah, we just want to follow up. It's been more than 24 hours, so we want to make sure that maybe he's just at a friend's or dead. And I'm just like, really? Like, that hit me really hard.
Yeah.
But
How do they jump from like?
it was a little more smooth than that, but
Yeah.
I remember that last
I was about
part.
to say, man, like, yeah, I don't know if he's just like playing on the guitar, or if he got brutally murdered. It's like,
Yeah.
dude.
And then that's what ended up being. He got murdered. So we're way off topic and Debbie Downer now. Let's go away from this. All right. But it's just a weird thing. Like 1 minute someone's there, and that makes you value your life. And from something we were talking about earlier is family or not family, the people in your life, you really need to judge their value in yours. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's my life lesson for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
that I've been building on. So now you all know me a little better.
That's just a little part of Koopa.
Yeah, so you should live every day of your life, every Friday and
Monday
Saturday.
through Friday.
Monday through Friday, bitches.
For the weekend.
Let's
be
talk about something funny.
Just be an asshole to your complete stranger.
make me laugh.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I got a couple things to bitch about. Hopefully you guys have seen this trailer. Have you any of you guys
Oh.
seen? Oh, maybe.
What movie?
Which one?
Have you guys seen the trailer for that movie Spring Breakers?
Bullshit.
Yes.
Oh my god! Like it's. I mean, like I can't remember the last time.
Like that's the thing. Like you didn't even say the name, and I knew what movie you're talking about.
Dude,
That's
it's
how
just
bad
like
it is.
every now and then there will be.
Oh, is that the one where they're singing Britney Spears?
Dude,
Yeah, I know
dude,
what
it's
you're
just
talking
like every now and then there will be a trailer for a movie, and I'll get so angry, and it's just like it's not like I've seen the movie and it wasted my time and money,
Yeah.
but I saw a trailer for a movie and I got so pissed off, and I'm just like, this is
Yeah.
fucking stupid, like, and what makes me even more mad is the guy who was the director for this movie. It's the guy who did Kids and Gummo,
Oh yeah.
Really?
who isn't a bad director. So like, and so I think I think he's been in retirement for like 5 years, and you fucking come out of retirement to make this piece of shit.
Maybe you need money. That would be my guess. Like,
Dude.
fuck.
Yeah,
I
I'm
need
not one
money.
to judge a book or a movie by its title, but like as soon as I saw that, I'm like, huh? Like really, dude?
Yeah.
Then I don't know what they offered James Franco, is that his?
Yeah.
I don't know what they offered that guy to be like, yeah, do you want to star in this piece of shit and wear, cornrows and a grill?
Well, what was interesting when I saw that trailer? Now, believe me,
Don't you play devil's advocate?
when you see the trailer, it makes it feel like what's that one where those two girls go to like Bangkok and and then they meet this guy and this guy traffics Broke Down Palace. I got that feel from it with what's his face in it, but they never described anything, so they never gave you any of the story. It just looks like people are fucking on spring break. And it's just like, oh.
It initially looks like was it Project X or whatever, the basically like party movie.
Yeah.
Like it kind of had that feel.
And what was it? I was watching Jimmy Fallon and what's her name? Selena Gomez. She's in that movie, and she's doing press for the movie, and just her explaining the movie because she's this fucking kid. She's a kid. I mean, she's like in her teens, early 20s. Fucking used to be Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And obviously the girl has fucking like retarded school. She's not educated at all except for like.
Wait, what was the phrase?
Severely, profoundly, mentally retarded.
Go ahead.
This girl probably has she probably has a Hollywood quote unquote education.
Right.
And just listening to her like just trying to explain the premise of this movie. It's like, James Franco, he's this guy called Alien, and we're on spring break.
Gloss rhymes with hair.
Oh my god, dude! It's just like fuck. And it's like one of those things where it reminds me of when I first saw like 30 seconds of the Kardashians. I felt dumber.
Yeah.
I'm just like, hey.
And if you're an actor, you should know your character in and out, and you should know the story in and out. And I don't understand.
true.
Well, and yeah, it's like she's like it was crazy, it was just a crazy situation. I'm just like, it's just like holy shit.
So what does the key grip do? He makes keys. Yeah. So my question is actually, because I know like obviously nobody's seen this movie, thank God. Is there actually one movie where you've like kind of wanted to give it a shot and you got like halfway through it and you're just like, fuck, I am done.
Yeah,
dude.
I got
Oh,
one.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Oh, you go ahead.
Thanksgiving.
Oh God.
See, Dan recommended that movie.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. Oh, because Dan recommended it. He's like, oh, this is funny. I watched the trailer. I'm just like, this looks like the biggest piece of shit ever.
It is.
No.
And that's the thing, because like I watched it when I was living in Baton Rouge, like with a whole group of friends. We were all drinking, and that's the thing. We like had the mindset of like we're gonna watch a shitty movie. We're kind of thinking about like Plan 9, but like let's pick a movie we haven't seen. So we picked Thanksgiving, knowing that it was shitty, and like we turned it. I don't think we made it even halfway, because that's the thing. It's like you can tell that. Well, first of all, it was a student film. Like they made it for like their final semester or whatever.
Okay.
But that's the thing. You can tell that they just use the camera off, like, from Best Buy. Because, like, if I remember correctly, like, the first shot is, like, in a car, and you can tell they don't have a wide enough lens. So it's, like, their face really tight, and you can't tell they're in a car.
Right.
So, but it's oh my god, that movie's so terrible. Yeah, we didn't even get halfway. And it's fuck that movie.
Dead and Breakfast. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've never.
I remember seeing it. It was like I saw it in the store. I was young, and it was like America's response. It's the American. What's the Simon Pegg movie? Zombie movie.
Oh, Shaun of the Dead.
It's America's Shaun of the Dead, and
Oh,
it
that sounds
totally
terrible.
wasn't. Or it could have kind of been like our shit version, kind of like how what we did to The Office. But
Yeah.
I guess we didn't do that. I mean, The Office. I'm on a tangent.
Do you have one?
I can't really think of one offhand. Like nothing that really sticks out. I mean, there was a couple. Like I think the two that I remember specifically, there was they had one on the BTK killer. It was supposed to be like it wasn't a documentary. It was basically like a movie.
Yeah.
And like, dude, I think I got like halfway through it, and like there was a scene where he's driving in a mail truck, and he's got like a girl tied up in the back, and he just like starts like throwing out like these 5-year-old type of insults, like "You're such a crybaby." I'm like, holy fuck, I'm done. But like, as far as there was that one, and then there was like some kind of like stupid like indie film. It was like Dead Man's Bounty or something like that with Val Kilmer.
Oh boy.
I got probably 20 minutes into that, and I'm just like, I just wasted a fucking $1 at Redbox. Yeah. But what really grinds my gears is there's certain commercials that I get like way too fucking pissed at. Like I think there's one that they always play at the fucking like Speedway or Thornton's gas station. It's that stupid motherfucker with the blue guitar, and he comes up at a gas station.
Everybody get
I don't like to like. I don't like to sit
It
there.
was
with
from
like,
the theme of Footloose, though, wasn't it? Like, everybody.
yeah, fuck, dude. Like, and I don't like to be the guy that sits there like by himself, just like cursing at nothing. But every time I fill up at a gas station and that commercial comes on, I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, Jesus. I pump less gas because of that fucking commercial.
One that left me really unfulfilled and a little bit angry was Dreamcatcher. Do you remember that movie?
Oh yeah, I never.
Oh,
fixed
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think that was a Stephen King.
Yeah.
Stephen King movie. That was pretty bad. Fuck, I just had another one.
That one was alright, but it was kind of hard to sit through.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, I just had another one. God damn it.
See, that was the one that I've never finished, but it wasn't like I walked down on it. It was like I just fell asleep. Snow White, the new Snow White, I did the same thing. Fell asleep halfway through. I was like, yeah, I have no passion to watch the rest of this. They had two of them at the same time that released.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I didn't
This
know.
is gonna. I just had another one in my fucking mind, and I can't.
What was your movie? Oh no, it's the Thornton's commercial.
Yeah, it's
Julia Roberts
mainly
would be the other one,
commercials,
isn't she?
which is unrelated, but
I'm
still.
just Thanksgiving. I'm just trying to jog Brian's memory.
Yeah.
What was yours?
Shit.
What was your
Dead
thing
and
that
Breakfast.
Dead and Breakfast, which was a
It was.
American
I'm the
version
same
of
way. Like,
Shaun
I
of the
think there's one
Dead.
that's on the tip of my tongue that's like real, like notable, but I can't remember
Yeah.
it. But of a bitch.
I recently watched Maximum Overdrive, which is an 80s.
Don't you dare fucking say you stopped that movie halfway
Oh no!
through.
Oh, I watched the whole
You
thing.
better enjoyed the fuck out of that movie.
No, I watched the whole thing, but the whole time I was like, "Is this bad or funny bad?"
Raging Bull.
Funny bad?
No, I remember. This and it was. I think it was really notable because, it was Jared and I. And we were really high. And when you're really high and you think a movie is stupid, that says something.
Right.
We were really high and we watched Master of Disguise.
Oh yeah.
And we're like,
Dana Carvey.
yeah, we're like, this is fucking stupid as shit.
Yeah.
So that's gotta, yeah.
Well,
It's funny. I watched it when I was high too. I mean, like I laughed really hard at the Tony Montana part, and then that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
The rest of it was probably a waste.
I think it
of
was
my
like the
life.
whole turtle
Yeah,
thing. I'm just
that's the
like,
only thing I remember from that movie.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is awful.
Yeah.
Rabbit cakes.
He had a good interview about that movie. I think he was on Leno or something when that happened. And the only funny thing that I ever found come out of that movie was just like He's like, so why'd you make this movie? Well, I wanted to make like a PG-13 movie, something that my kids are watching. They're getting a little bit older and blah, blah, blah. He's like, and he named off something like when he was younger.
Show him Wayne's World.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think he brought that up. He's like, when they were younger, I showed them Wayne's World and blah, blah, blah. So I made it like a little more of a kids' movie. When they're a little bit older, I did this PG-13 movie. And when they're 17, I'll make a porno. That's awesome. You're hilarious.
That's awesome.
And we're good for this episode.
Be right back.
Hey.
Hey.